Welcome back, Salty Fam. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. So today we're going to get into Real Housewives of Rhode Island seating chart for the reunion.
And I think everyone's excited for this reunion. They have delivered as like a brand new show.
Right.
Like I feel like everybody is loving Rhode Island.
Yes, they definitely, it's like when they had Salt Lake City on the first season.
Yes,
They did it right. They picked a great
for
cast
sure.
and it works,
It's like new and fresh, but also familiar in a way.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you're looking at Andy and you're starting at the left, we first have Liz McGraw. So she's like the matriarch of the group. She is the
Yes.
oldest one. And her situation with Dino and that whole relationship was a big focus this season.
Yeah.
And kind of the disconnect with Gary because of his deep sea fishing.
And then on this latest episode, her and Alicia fighting like crazy over the homeless comment. That one, she just
Yeah.
cannot let that go. That she says she's homeless. And I get what she's saying. Like,
Yeah.
she's like, when you say that, people are picturing like you're at a homeless encampment, like what you see under the bridges in the big cities, and like that's not what happened. But your dad did just totally blow up your whole family and leave y'all and sell your home and everything. So they're like both right, but
Yeah, I
know.
think Liz is trying to point out to her that, like, when you're on this show, America is going to think homelessness is something totally different than what you're
Yes.
saying homelessness is. And yes, Alicia did have to like go from house to house and what lived in the basement of her
Like it was horrible what
grandmother's.
happened to her.
Yeah,
No doubt.
but it's not what like America would define as
Yes.
homeless.
And it is true that they lost their home as it, but it's like
Right.
they're picturing you in a tent under a bridge with like addicts everywhere,
Right. So, and I also get what Alicia's saying is she's like, you're not even supporting me. You're just trying to pick apart what I'm
Yes.
saying, which is true.
It's funny
know?
that Liz like won't let it go.
Yeah.
Like it really just irks
It
her.
triggered her. Yeah, it really did. And, now we've come to find out that Liz, Dino, and Gary were all mixed up in this FBI and DEA investigation that went on in 2020 to 2023. And that investigation fizzled out. So Liz and Gary got wrapped up in Dino's FBI investigation because through all of the investigation, they found out that Liz and Gary were called by Dino the second.
Most out of everyone he
Yeah.
calls. So they're thinking,
So like the first people are the crime family, good looking Maddie. And he actually has been linked to John Gotti and the Gambino crime family. So like big mob ties.
yeah.
So that's the number one people, that family, the
Yeah.
crime family is the number one family that he contacted. Under that, it was Liz and Gary who were deep sea fishing in the Caribbean where that was where all the drug stuff was
and
going
that's how
on.
they were suspecting people were bringing it in,
Yes, and now they are still, it's said that they are still being monitored for their Caribbean vacations
which is interesting.
for illegal, things going on.
Yeah.
So that whole thing had
But
to
so
do
like
with
none of
cocaine.
it started looking at them, but they're all looking at Dino so hard, and then they're the second most. So they're like, okay, obviously we need to watch y'all. So they're like
Right.
specifically listed in the wiretap requests and everything of
Right.
like Liz and Jerry, So it's just
That-
crazy. Like,
And they had a informant saying that they saw Liz fronting the money for the cocaine purchases, which she would get a kickback after they sold.
yeah, that's like what one of the sources in the affidavit said
Yeah.
of like how they see them tied.
Yeah, so that's like how they got wrapped into that investigation. And then it just kind of fizzled out all of a sudden.
Yeah, that one fizzled, and then the state case for the
Yes.
controlled substances, like what's pushing forward, and that's like why the affidavit for the first one came out, which is kind of like that's what it came
Yeah.
out because of the state case or whatever.
Yeah, so Rhode Island State Police still have the 7 felonies against Dino. And this is for manufacturing lorazepam. So they still have him on that. And it is said that they are still monitoring Liz, Gary, and Dino
yeah, it's interesting
in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
So they definitely are still hot. And I think that's a big push to sell the gypsy.
That's what everyone's thinking.
That's our assumption. It all lines up. And, this crime family that Dino is involved with is no joke. Like, they are the biggest crime families on the East
That's
Coast.
what, the cocaine charges or whatever. I feel like somebody made a deal or something, because in that affidavit, the guy says that one of his informants, under the control and direction of him, did buy from Dino twice, like kilogram amounts or something like that. So it's not like there was, it fizzled out because they didn't have anything. Like, they're legit buying it from him during it, but then I don't know, maybe he made a deal or something,
Either a
to
deal,
kinda,
someone got threatened, or it got off on a technicality. Like, there had to be something goes on. When the mob's involved, there are many things that can happen, And I mean, that's pretty wild that Liz is best friends with a guy who is doing work for people like the Gambino family.
Yeah,
that
it's
is
just like you
wild.
are going to get pulled into some shit, even if you are totally uninvolved in all of that.
Yeah.
The fact that you're that just close in the proximity, people are going to speculate on it. And it's like there's going to be like gravity pulling you into it,
Yeah, it is pretty wild.
It's crazy.
And then they had, in May 2020, they had the domestic violence dispute at the McGraw's home with Gary, Liz, and Dino. So it's like, is that where all the cheating rumors came from? Did Gary find out something? And
I bet that is probably where the cheating rumors came from. Because
Rhode Island's so small. No way everyone just looked the other way when that happened. I'm sure
a neighbor told somebody, and before you know it, it's like wildfire spreading around.
Yeah, I'm sure that was talk of the town back then. And clearly it was, since it was brought up on the show,
And yeah, because you can definitely tell Liz is like connected in Rhode Island. Like for sure the most connected just outside of the show. And I feel like you can tell she's like the main person of the show, like Lisa Rinna was saying in the book. Like there's always one in the center who's like the queen bee. I feel like it's definitely Liz. So it makes sense that she's left to Andy,
Right. Then we have Rula. She is the one with all the mistress drama, who now I guess the mistress owns the laser and aesthetic part of
that's what we're thinking.
Business,
because the equity she got or whatever, he was like, it had nothing to do with the affair, it's because of the business thing. And his like foot place is also a med spa, I guess. So I bet she's the med spa partner. And they started having an affair, like
because he says he microdoses the GLP-1.
I mean, he was crashing out at that dinner.
Then he
was
also
talking
takes
about that
steroids. And and he also does Botox, at his clinic. So, and we know from the mistress's posts that she does lasers and all of that. And now we know, since he sued her after she made all those posts
for sure
about the business, supposedly, well, clearly she's that side and he's the foot doctor side. So that's what we're landing on.
And it all makes more sense too, like the rumors of him sleeping with more people, going to his spa or whatever. Because like when you first hear he's a foot doctor, you're picturing like it's some random classic doctor's office, like it's lifeless, so sterile and boring. But then it's like, oh no, it's actually like a med spa for Botox and all this stuff for women. It's like, oh, that makes more sense. He probably is not doing too much foot stuff.
Right, I agree. And what's interesting about her storyline, it was mostly propelled by Joe Ellen.
Yes.
And I don't think Rula expected this to be the main focus of like everyone kind of freaking out about it.
But she is for sure one of the main storylines of the show, but not by her doing. Like if it was up to her, she wouldn't be at all. But it's just like everybody's piling in on it. She's like missing all the stuff with the group.
That is true. Well, and I also don't think that she's going to go travel with the group and leave Brian with all the time in the world to go meet up with the mistress. Like, I truly believe that that's why she did not go on this spend the night trip.
No, I agree.
Because she does not trust Brian, because she tracks where he goes, and then he was secretly tracking her back. So he could say, okay, I'm going to the grocery store. And then he could go and look without her knowing, okay, is she following me or is she at home? Because he had cameras placed in the home without her knowing, and then a tracker placed on her car without her knowing, so that he could check in and like either go meet up with the fair girl
For
or
sure.
be like, hey, I can't, she's following me.
Yeah, definitely.
That's
And
my assumption
they
of
could just
why
be
he
meeting
was
up in a
tracking
parking lot
her.
or something,
Yeah.
you know, like
Oh, we know that happens all the time.
exactly.
I mean, I was
Exactly.
just at Walgreens last week picking up my prescription, and there was a car parked with a sunshade and everything, and it was rocking side to side. And I was like, we all know at 2 o'clock on a Monday what's happening there.
Yeah.
Someone is cheating.
1000%.
Like, no way you're parked in the back of a Walgreens doing that on a 2 o'clock on a Monday with your wife.
It's
you know?
crazy.
I mean, I was shell shocked when I saw it.
Yeah.
But anyways, so it does clearly happen.
For
And that's
sure.
why the mistress was posting photos of her in his car, because he
where
had to make
that's where
it.
all the magic's happening, you know?
Well, yeah, and he had to be at the hospital because that's where he said he would be. But then he meets her in the car because he can't take her into the hospital on all the cameras.
Yeah.
Or in front of his mom who was sick. He had to
Yeah.
meet her in private at the hospital because he couldn't drive anywhere else because he knew he was being tracked by Rula.
It's crazy.
You know? And that was weird how, like, she didn't stay with the group.
That was a
film.
whole weird
She
thing.
acted like she was going to go with him to the hospital with his mother, who is so
Yeah.
sick. But why wasn't she allowed to go to the hospital? She got dropped off at home.
It was so weird. And then they're both back at the whatever that polo was or whatever. It was like, what just happened? And then the pics are coming out. You're like,
Yeah.
what is going on?
Like,
That
he
was
totally
so weird.
just met his mistress at the hospital.
Yeah.
Like, was his mom even there?
Yeah, I think either that or even I also wouldn't be surprised. The mistress just knows they're filming and is like, I'm going to drop this bomb. And like,
Yeah.
you know, I know they're all there and they're filming.
Yeah.
So let's stir it up.
Well, because she said before she's waiting for Rula to leave him. So she's going to put them in this pressure cooker situation
Yes.
and embarrassment.
Try to just break them, you know?
Yeah.
And you do feel bad for Rula, you know, like this last episode, just her talking like, oh, he used to just be so like obsessed with me. And then it's
Yeah.
like, you know, it's just totally different. Like you feel bad for her. Like,
So,
and it's just getting blasted on this
Yeah.
show. Like, oof.
well, we heard that Rula was the other woman in his previous marriage.
Yeah, which
So
that's
yeah, he probably was giving a lot of attention to her, like how he is
Mm-hmm.
with this new mistress. And she was like all exciting at first.
Yeah.
But the classic, then they settle down, have kids, it's too much of a real life and it's not exciting anymore. Then they go and look for the next one.
It's live by the sword, die by the sword. You know, you're the fun mistress. Well, if you become the main girl, guess what? Now you're going to be
Yeah.
the boring one. There's going to be someone else who's the fun mistress.
Yeah.
You know, like
when it's hard to keep up the fun mistress for like 40 years, you know, like, and if you don't have kids, obviously it's easier, but still, like,
Yeah.
that would be exhausting if you had to play fun mistress for him to not cheat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, totally.
that's just exhausting, you know?
It's crazy.
And I feel for Rula, but the blindness, I
You
am
know-
like, oh, girl, come on.
Yeah, you wonder if she kind of expected this had a chance of happening with filming, or she was thinking it was going to go totally different. And then it
Yeah.
just went like this. And it's like, you know, she's kind of having like a Angel Massey type first season where you're
Yeah.
just like, oh my God, this is like
A-
the biggest train wreck. And I thought it was going to be
Yeah.
the total opposite, you know?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if like I'm sure she will sign on for a second season, but it'll be
yeah,
interesting, you know?
yeah.
And then we have Rosie next to her, and she is known for her slam pig moment that we have all
Yes.
witnessed now, which is very funny. Obviously,
yeah.
a derogatory term
Oh,
towards
horrible.
Kelsey. Their feud is not over. It's like continuing today
I
online.
mean, you're
on
selling
Watch What
Slam
Happens
Pig summer
Live.
t-shirts. You're going all in, you
Yeah,
know?
she just came out with her merch line with Slam Pig Summer, and just intense hatred for Kelsey and
Yeah.
that dynamic. And Kelsey back at her. You
They-
know, Kelsey
yeah.
doesn't like her at all either and instigates it.
And is a
completely.
total bitch to her. Like,
Yeah.
so bad. But then acts like, oh, that was a joke. It's like, no, that was not a joke at all. Like, come
Yeah.
on. Like, now it's even more insulting that you think I'm so stupid. I would think that was a joke,
Right,
you know?
Right. And also, I get where Rosie's coming from. It's like, you are attacking me for all these things that you yourself have not done, not accomplished,
And that's kind
don't
of like
have.
why she's doing it, because she's
Yeah.
insecure about all those things
Yeah.
and wants to like make someone else feel the same way, you
Right.
know?
But, Rosie does have her scandals that have
Yeah.
been announced as well.
For sure. She's catching some of her own heat, you know?
Right, right. And then last on this side, we have Ashley. So I felt like she played it safe this season. She did cry a lot about like little random
Yeah.
weird things. She seems to get overwhelmed a lot. Her husband working this cafe job just does not seem like a good idea at all. She even said he knows he makes more money online and doing
Yeah.
like the social media stuff, but he won't do that, and he'll only like kind of dig his grave with this cafe. It's hard to watch.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, or can he maybe mix a little more? Start doing a bunch of social media stuff at the cafe and on the cafe, and like that becomes a revenue stream of it or whatever.
Right.
But honestly, you could probably make more on the online side. It doesn't even matter if the store itself is really like doing as much, because all of it's coming from the content about it. You know?
So I believe she said she's the main breadwinner. So, a lot of pressure there. Young kids, a lot of pressure there. It does seem, I know that she has help, but it does seem like she is very hands-on with the kids, plus being the breadwinner, while her husband is just working this like stressed out cafe
and
job.
like super high demanding. He has to be there. It's probably like ridiculous hours, and it's one thing if you're like making a killing doing that, but if you're like doing that and it's giving you nothing and it's like breaking you, you're like, something has got to change with
Well,
this.
it's not like he's there managing a team of people. He's there as the barista.
Yeah, it seems like he's
like he is making the coffees that the people are drinking.
Like if he's not there, it's not working.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like, and he's got to like figure something out with that.
I don't think that's what Ashley pictured his role when he said, I'm going to open up this cafe. I didn't think she'd be like, oh, now I'm married to a barista who is always stressed out, irritated, and is like oddly addicted to just being in this like.
I mean, you got to give it to him. He loves that place. So there is something where that is like a dream of his, like having that place, but he's got to just figure out a way to do it not like this. You know?
Right. Yeah, like at what cost to your marriage and family? Because you can tell that this is like a big...
And it doesn't have to be like that.
Right.
Like, if he could tie the content in or do something, it could be totally different.
Yeah. And then her mask moment. First of all, her mask was hilarious because it was the only one that covered her whole face.
Like that had to be intentional and like throwing some shade,
Yeah. And then everyone was having these like moments of maybe when they had someone meaningful in their life pass away, which was hard for them, or someone in their life who chose to leave them. All these kind of ways where they're like having to heal from something. And then when it comes to Ashley, it was like a little like...
She's like, I'm having to heal from never having to heal.
Yeah, she's like, nothing's ever really actually happened to me. What? But one day something will happen and that will be really intense for me. And it's like, well, yeah.
And you're like, I'm sure something has happened that you could have said that would have sounded better than this. Like you never had a pet die or like,
well, I mean, let's think about it right now. Oh, my husband's job is going terribly wrong and it's affecting our marriage.
This coffee shop that was supposed to be this dream is kind of like becoming this nightmare. Like that's hard to deal with.
Yeah, it's like you can tell like she might not go too deep. Like it might be very surface level.
I totally feel what you're saying. And like the show wasn't quite what she probably expected either with how hard everyone else is fighting. Like you can't really see her fighting with anyone like that. But she did really good of like being able to manage and still kind of go in with stuff. Yeah. But I wouldn't be surprised if she doesn't do like a few like it could just be like, whoa, this is like way more charged than I ever realized.
Right. A little bit too messy for her.
Yeah.
Okay, now on the right side of Andy, we have Alicia. So she is the one who's obsessed with crackers, obsessed with dolls.
She is funny.
Cannot drive.
You gotta love her with just all those quirks. It's like, what an interesting person,
Yeah. It is. I do really like her. I did think it was interesting that she was sitting next to Andy because I didn't think she had too many scandals or anything like that, but maybe just her and Liz long-term friendship and them being, kind of at each other's throats towards the end of the season.
That's what I was gonna say. Maybe
placed them up
I mean,
there
how much
together.
this homeless thing ramped up the last episode in the car, like it might even go crazier towards the end where this comment goes nuts on it, you know?
I have a feeling it will. I have a feeling the car ride isn't just the end. It's like once they get there, it's going to be like this
even
huge,
worse.
Yeah, probably.
What a brutal car ride, you know? Like,
And then I feel like she kind of over exaggerates things, like
Alicia?
Yeah, like she's saying, I don't get anything and I'm not on the house and this and that. And it's like, honey, he's not giving you access because he doesn't trust you with being able to responsibly control the money where it's not just blown in a year and then you and your daughter are out on your ass. He has a financial guy who is controlling the money.
It sounded like he's got a whole trust set up, like a whole thing going. And you can tell his thing is not like, I want you to have nothing and blah, blah, blah. It's like,
that's how she's framing it though.
Yeah.
And it's like, he's like, no, you are set up. It's just you're not going to have control over it because you cannot be responsible with money.
Yes.
And I think that's totally fine.
Like she's still trying to figure out how to be able to drive her daughter to school.
Yeah.
Okay, now deal with the stress with managing a multi-million-dollar portfolio or whatever. Like he's just like, that would be like mean to her.
It would be.
To put those expectations on her and think she'd do well with like no.
And it's also like, she's like, okay, so then someone else is also controlling me.
Yes.
And it's like, Alicia, this is for your best benefit so that if you ever had to work, it would be very minimal for the rest of your life. That is not a negative.
He's like, this is
to keep the lifestyle going forever for you and our child.
Yes. And this is exactly my concern. Any kind of self-control or encouragement of, hey, maybe we shouldn't do this. You're like, this is modern slavery, where if you're going to maintain this and grow it and have it provide for everyone, you're going to need tons of self-control to not screw it up.
Right.
Because it's going to be easy to screw it up,
Yeah. I mean, you just start thinking, oh, I need
and you
this
can't go
vacation
back
home,
when you do,
boat.
like it's like.
Yeah. It's easy to spend. I mean, that's why they have the lottery people spend millions of dollars and then they're broke in 5 years.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's easy to spend, especially in the
kind of vibe she's in and the people she runs with, where it's very much about what you have, who you know, where you go,
It's like, it's almost like a
keeping up
pissing
with the
contest
Joneses.
on who can spend the most.
Yes,
It's wild. And I'm sure, I just the framing that she has of him, it reminds me of more of the problem she had with her dad, and she's like taking it out on him or whatever.
No, he is definitely paying for what her dad did to her, and which makes total sense. I mean, of course, like exactly what she says, like the one guy who's supposed to like, I'll literally die to save you.
Yeah.
Just abandon you. So of course it's going to be super hard to trust guys.
Yeah. So I think she kind of frames him in that light because of just her
for sure
stuff with her dad, which is really sad. But I do think her husband has her back.
Yeah.
Loves her endlessly. I think she's hung up on not marrying him because of her own personal issues, not because of anything that he's doing to her.
And then kind of blaming him for that. Even though it's just interesting.
Okay, now we have Joe Ellen sitting next to Alicia on the right side. So her relationship with her mom and what she had been through in middle school and high school and being sent to all those adolescent camps and for problem children was really hard to watch.
For sure, and those places are like, there are some freaks in there where it's like, man, these are some legit like psychos in here. So if you're just a kid who was just kind of partying or maybe not
mouthed off a
going,
little
yeah,
bit.
just
You're
kind
like,
of
I mean,
more
she said
traditional rebellion. Like,
yeah.
it's like, dude, it's like getting sent into jail with like murders or something, and you just
Mhm.
did like a drug crime or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like we are not on the same level with these like
Yeah.
freaks out
She
here.
said she like had never done drugs or drinking or anything, and she was put in there with like severe drug addicts, severe
Yeah,
cases.
it is like
and
crazy people in
like
those things.
that will almost make you come out
That
of
will
it
traumatize
worse.
you.
Yeah. And then, her relationship with her husband, the whole timeline of her husband sleeping with the salon owner, it's not adding
That
up.
stuff is all
It's
weird,
like, It's like, oh, I was with him since high school, but I also slept with a salon owner in high school and the wife in high school, and I was sent to all these camps, and
Yeah,
it was weird. And then and then we got together again in college.
Yeah,
It's like, was there a break? Like,
that's what I'm
it?
betting. It was like tons of on and off kind of. But yeah, but but you're just like, if that's how the timeline was, don't be talking about it like it wasn't like that, because it just all this stuff starts to not add up and it feels weird, or whatever.
Yeah, and so the salon that she worked at, she is still on their Facebook page.
But
like,
yes,
as
it's interesting.
she is now.
She looks like how she does now, so it's like this has to be semi-recent.
Well,
not,
the photo was updated in 2022.
Okay, yeah, so just a few years ago.
Her now with all these like 18-year-olds or 19-year-olds.
Yeah, it looked like she was like
she is the matriarch.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wait, what? You're still involved with the salon, even though it's changed owners since she's worked there in high school. But she's obviously still entangled.
Like, is this the same salon or is this a different one? But she's just like wrapped up in the salons,
Yeah.
She's just like a tanning salon girl or whatever.
Yeah. And I think it's called Second to the Sun
Yeah.
Tanning Salon in Rhode Island. So it's
just
interesting. If you go look at their Facebook page, she is right there.
Yeah.
And we made a short on it too with the photo, or a flip book, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She's one, like the more I feel like I've watched her, the more like you like her, like her first impressions were like, man, she's going to be crazy. Like, but the more you watch her, it's like, I don't know, you understand her more, and I don't know, you like her more.
The one thing I cannot get over is her sister wanting to steal her husband.
Yes, that whole like LARPing, like the sister's the wife when she's out of town. I'm like, okay, that's a little weird.
It's weird.
Like,
and it's weird because she's made it known. Oh, I want his sperm for my babies, but don't worry,
and just they used
he
to
won't
date too. There's just so many things where it's like, ooh,
it's weird.
That makes you feel some kind of way.
And it's also weird because her and her sister never grew up having a good relationship, so they have that tendency to go.
Yeah, you kind of got that vibe talking with the mom that like she treated one very different than the other, and that pits them against each other. Where it's like,
for sure. And Joellen knows it.
Yeah.
And then now you have this sister, which you don't have a good history with, trying to get on your man.
I mean,
it kind of seems like competitive. And even Joellen's like, girl, it's been years, like, back off of my man, but she won't.
Yeah,
it's
like
interesting. It's weird. And the whole playing mommy to the kids, like, I'm sorry, that would not fly with me.
It was crazy. Well, and do you remember with the mom, it was funny, like, well, no, it wasn't funny, it was actually really sad. The mom's talking about something and trying to make it sound like it was really bad about Joellen, and they're like, "Oh, that was actually the other sister," and then she like drops it, like doesn't want to ridicule her. She's like, "Oh, I was just gonna ridicule you with it."
It was a negative when I saw you or think that you did it, but now that I know it's my favorite daughter who did it, like, oh well, I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah, you felt for her, you know. You're like, oh, that was
That's how it was.
Like
all
you could
growing
see
up.
exactly. That was just like a little microcosm of like,
I get why she had a tough adolescent. I mean, that is a hard dynamic.
Yeah, you
to
really
be
understand her. You know?
And then we have last on that side, Kelsey. So her whole storyline kind of is a little irrelevant now that we find out that she moved out of Capria's home 2 years ago. That was a Rosie bomb drop that she did recently.
I mean, Rosie is coming at her hard.
Yeah.
Dropping those bombs, the slam pig stuff, like it is knives out, like full force,
And you can tell Kelsey's new boyfriend that she's actually had for a long time hates the fact that John is still paying for things and that she won't just like cut the cord.
Yes.
You know?
And even they're going out triple dating with friends, and she's like, what do y'all think about my ex-boyfriend paying for all my stuff? Like, I'm still not going over there blowing him, but he's still paying. It's like that poor guy sitting there. He's like, oh my God, what is going on? Like, that is so just, that sucks.
So I heard online that while Kelsey was with John, she had this other boyfriend too that we see in the show, but also he was having other girlfriends too.
So they're one and the same.
Both dating other people, but then also still hooking up together. So it seems like both of them had open relationships.
Yeah.
So, he's not super innocent, just waiting there in the wing for her.
Yeah.
He had a whole life.
For sure.
Outside of whatever he had with Kelsey. Mm-hmm. And I think that they went to high school together, right?
I mean, probably
something like that.
Because she's from Rhode Island. So all of those people, it seems like they all like know each other, grew up together. Like it's small like that, Even if they didn't know each other personally, like, oh, we played them in school. And I know who they are,
Yeah. Well, we know Kelsey and Joellen went to high school together. We're very close. Worked at the same tanning salon. Kelsey was outing Joellen's sexual history like no other this season. Saying, she hooked up with my ex on the boat. And then Joellen's like, no, it was on land. And we think it was Caprio.
Yeah, I mean, because there's
or
definitely
one of the Caprio brothers.
Mean, they're making it sound like both of them have hooked up with multiple of the brothers, and they know which one they all like hooking up with more. You know, like just craziness.
Yeah, they were like comparing sizes, I think, right?
It's something like just like crazy. You know. But Kelsey is just ripping everyone apart for what she is so insecure about with her own like kind of story and.
Well,
how she knows the world is going to see her. Like, and even if it was real, it's not even a good one of like, oh, you're just his pet for 10 years and now he's like going to get a new one. So you got to go, like it's.
Well, it's sad because she's so beautiful. And if she just.
And has all those other like real achievements, and doesn't lean into them at all.
Yeah. Like if she just kind of did her own thing, she would have the world right now. She'd probably be married with kids and all the things that she wanted, and I don't really think that this new / old guy is the fit for her.
No,
I think that it's not going to work out.
He's gonna have major resentment going to the apartment for a year that the other guy's paying for, and she's talking about it all the time.
Yeah, and like there's just too much history that's too messy. I think finding something fresh, new, and her turning a new leaf with really cutting off the Caprio stuff, and then just starting fresh. But I get having that lavish of a lifestyle. Now, mind you, that mansion is Caprio's mom's house. So how embarrassing is it to be like, hey, Mom, can I shack up my
pet
sugar
needs a
baby?
place to live.
So like Caprio is not super flush with cash. Like we looked it up. His average income was $450 a year from his lawyer job. And then those properties are
which is great money,
properties.
But you are not getting a house like that.
No, that's great income. Yeah, very high income.
But you are not getting a house like that with that.
But all of the properties, all the multiple
and having
homes,
sugar babies all over the country.
Like that is a very different lifestyle.
No, it's all supposedly
from
the
kids and an ex-wife. Like you add it up, and that 450 is gone easy.
Yeah, and it's all supposedly from the syndication of his dad's show. He was like a Judge Judy kind of thing. Yeah. Which even though it's like public access, when it gets syndicated, they're getting huge checks from that. Yeah. And so every time it runs, they're still getting checks for it.
Right. So all those homes that he has going around, those are like the family homes. Those aren't just personally owned by him. No. Yeah. So I mean, that is so
like her storyline's kind of fake. And it kind of pulls him in a fake way too, where it's like it's all just like misrepresenting what it is. Yeah.
Well, I know that his family at the beginning was not excited that they were all outsed, but I'm like, what did you think was gonna happen?
I'm like,
just no one was gonna ever find out.
Has anyone ever seen these shows?
Yeah.
Like, or do they come on here being like, I've never heard of Bravo. I don't know what this is, but I think this is gonna be really good for me. Like, it's like you have to know you're like walking into the lion's den, dude.
Like no one Googles it. No one. They all just like trot along.
Apparently not.
It's just crazy.
It is.
Got to do your, due diligence before filming a reality TV show.
Yeah.
For
sure.
Oh man. Well, that is it for today. Thank you for joining Salty Fam, and we'll see you later.